સો મેં જે બુક્સ વાંચી હતી, there are total 4 books. Love and Misadventure, Memories, Sea of Strangers, and The Universe of Us. લેંગ લીવે લખેલી છે. આ બુક્સ છે એ પોએટ્રી અને પ્રોઝ બંને ઇન્ક્લુડ કરે છે, અને અમુક પોએટ્રી અને પ્રોઝ જેણે લખેલા છે બહુ ફાઇન લખેલા છે. હું ફ્લાઇટમાં હતી એ વખતે, ત્યારે મેં વાંચી હતી. બહુ ફાસ્ટ ગઈ આ બધી બુક્સ, કેમ કે અમુક પોએમ તમને 10 મિનિટ વિચારવા માટે મજબૂર કરી દે, તો અમુક પોએમ જસ્ટ યુ કેન મૂવ ઓન ફ્રોમ ઇટ, રાઈટ? સો ઇટ વોઝ લાઈક ધેટ. પહેલી જે બુક વાંચી હતી એનું નામ લવ એન્ડ મિસએડવેન્ચર છે. આઈ હેવ બુક માર્ક સમ પોએટ્રી એન્ડ પ્રોઝ ફ્રોમ ધ સેમ એન્ડ આઈ એમ ગોઈંગ ટુ રીડ ઇટ ટુ યુ. જસ્ટ અ સેકન્ડ. ઓકે. એમાં એને એક લખી છે, આર્ટ એન્ડ બુક્સ. વિધાઉટ અ ડાઉટ આઈ મસ્ટ રીડ ઓલ ધ બુક્સ આઈ હેવ રેડ અબાઉટ. See the artworks hung on hooks that I have only seen in books. As a book lover, I loved this. એટલે મારે શેર કરવી હતી તમારી જોડે. ઇવન ધો એ બહુ એટલી કોમ્પ્લિકેટેડ નથી કે તમારું હાર્ટ ટચ કરી લે, બટ યુ શેર ધ સેમ ફિલિંગ. Then there is another one which says endearing trait. The scatterbrain is like a, it's little like the patter of rain, neither here nor there, but everywhere. પછી એક છે a question. It was a question I had worn on my lips for days, like a thread on couldn't resist pulling. Despite knowing it could all unravel around me, I asked, do you love me? In your hesitation, I found my answer. પછી a way out કરીને એક છે. Do you know what it is like to lie in bed awake with thoughts to haunt you every night of all your past mistakes, knowing sleep will set it right if you are not too awake? પછી એક lost things કરીને એક પ્રોઝ એને લખેલો છે. એમાં એવું લખ્યું છે કે do you know when you lost something like your favorite t-shirt or set of skis? While looking for it, you come across something else you once missed but have long since forgotten. Well, whatever it was, there was a point where you decided to stop searching for it. Maybe it was no longer required, or you found a new replacement. It is almost as if it never existed in the first place until that moment of rediscovery, a flash of recognition. Everyone has one inventory of lost things waiting to be found, yearning to be acknowledged for the worth they once held in life. I think this is where I belong. Among all other lost things, a crumpled note at the bottom of drawer or an old photograph placed between the pages of books. I hope someday you will find me remember what I once meant to you. I found it touching કેમ કે અમુક વ્યક્તિઓ આપણે જે ભૂલી ચૂક્યા છીએ, they were the best people in our life at some point, and પછી આપણે એમને શોધવાનું બંધ કરી દીધું કેમ કે we found new replacement. પણ અચાનક જ એક દિવસ આપણના હાથમાં આવી જાય, કાં તો આપણને એક દિવસ મળી જાય, ત્યારે we will see the importance of it once we had in our life. I am just feeling કે જે વ્યક્તિને આપણે ભૂલી ચૂક્યા છીએ, or જે વ્યક્તિઓ આપણને ભૂલી ચૂક્યા છે, એમને કેવું ફીલ થતું હશે. Next one was a jealousy. Jealousy કરીને એક છે poem. એમાં એણે લખ્યું છે, it was the way you spoke about her with animosity, regret, disdain, and underneath it all, just a hint of pride. રોક પ્લેનેટ્સ કરીને એક પ્રોઝ એણે લખ્યો છે. As a kid, I would count backwards from 10 and imagine at 1 there would be an explosion, perhaps caused by a rogue planet crashing into Earth or some other major catastrophe. When nothing happened, I had felt relieved, at the same time a little disappointed. I think of you at 10, the first time I saw you, your smile at 9, how it lit up something inside me I had thought long dead. Your lips at 8 pressed against mine, at 7 your warm breath in my ear and your hands everywhere. You tell me you love me at 6, at 5 we have our first real fight, at 4 we have our second and third. Our third at 2 you tell me you can't go and any longer, and then at 1 you ask me to stay. And I'm relieved, so relieved and a little disappointed. This was about લવ એન્ડ મિસફોર્ચ્યુન. પછી એક મેમરીઝ કરીને છે જેમાં એણે અમુક બહુ જ ફાઇન પોએમ અને એક્સેપ્ટ લીધેલા છે. બહુ નાના નાના છે પણ બહુ મસ્ત છે. જસ્ટ ગોઈંગ ટુ રીડ ઇટ. Pieces of you કરીને છે. He knows I can't tell a joke without laughing, and how I'm always talking about second chances. He knows I sleep all day and wake up tired, and I could never give anyone a straight answer. I cried the first time I told him about you. I said I was sorry, and he held me so close. He said me he knew why my eyes were like searchlights, how they looked at the sky with such longing. And when I read my stars in the paper each morning, he left me one Sunday with cup half empty. I paid it downstairs and saw the writing on the wall. Outside the rain already was falling, and there were still pieces of you behind every door. Pretext કરીને એને એક બહુ નાની પોએમ લખી છે. Our love, a dead star. To the world it burns brightly, but it died long ago. Closure કરીને એક છે. Like time suspended, a wound unmended, you and I. We had no ending, no said goodbye. For all my life, I will wonder why. મેમરીઝમાંથી આટલું છે. પછી ધ યુનિવર્સ ઓફ અસ કરીને છે એની બુક. I'm going to read some excerpts from there. What I would tell you, કરીને એને પ્રોઝ લખેલો છે. To you, love was about multitudes. To me, love was about inordinate. I love you, I would say, and you would ask how much. I couldn't find the words to answer you then, but they have found their way to mine since. And this is what I would tell you. I would blanket the world in utter darkness. I would pull back the veil of light and reveal to you a blinding crescendo of stars. I would drain all the seven seas and ask you to count one by one every grain of sand that clings to the ocean floor. I would tally the bit of every human heart that has echoed since the dawn of becoming. And as you look in the awe at the sheer magnitude of my admission, I would take your hand in mine and tell you, if only you had let me, this is how much I could have loved you. Recognition કરીને એને એક બહુ નાનું વાક્ય લખ્યું છે. I never met you before, but I recognize this feeling. Procession કરીને એને લખ્યું છે. He used to ask me all the time if I was okay, as though he never knew for sure. He would ask me when he was tired or frustrated or when he felt helpless. He could ask me when he was afraid. He asked me the same question long after we stopped being lovers, when we became something less, yet somehow more. Are you okay? He would whisper on the phone late at night when his girlfriend was asleep or had gone to her mother's for the weekend. Are you okay? He hasn't asked me in years, but I know he still thinks of it. I know the question still reverberates in his mind like a broken record, and he will keep looking for answers long after there is nothing left to appease him. It was always the same question over and over again, like the start of conversation, and it took me years to recognize the unsaid words that marched silently behind. Are you okay because I love you? Are you okay because I need you? Are you okay because I don't know how to live without you? Moments કરીને એને એક બહુ મસ્ત લખ્યું છે કે there is a tragedy of growing up, knowing you will run out of feeling something new for the first time. The sad thing is, you only get to get so many of those moments, a handful if you are lucky, and then you spend the rest of your life turning them over in your head. I think that's why you meant as much as you did. Why I held on for so long. I didn't know it back then, but you were the last time I would ever feel anything new. હર કરીને એક મૂવી છે જેમાં the main character falls in love with artificial intelligence અને એને એ મૂવીમાં એક બહુ મસ્ત વાક્ય કીધેલું હોય છે કે ક્યારેક જેટલું અનુભવવાનું છું એટલું બધું જ મેં અનુભવી લીધું છે અને હવે જે અનુભવીશ એ બસ ખાલી એના ઉતરેલા સ્વરૂપો હશે અને this is the same thing that I felt when I read Moments. ઉમ, પછી લેસન કરીને છે. There is a girl who smiles all the time to show the world that she is fine. A boy who surrounds himself with friends wishes that his life would end. For those that say they never knew, the saddest leave the list of the clues. સહારા કરીને એક પેરેગ્રાફ એણે લખ્યો છે બહુ નાનો પેરેગ્રાફ છે and the weather was so damn sick of being predictable. I heard it began snowing in the Sahara, and I wanted to tell you that I have changed. When કરીને એક શબ્દ છે. When did you stop caring? He asked. When did you start noticing? She replied. Until it's gone કરીને એક છે એમાં એણે લખ્યું છે. Some people don't know what they have until it's gone. પણ પછી એને વાક્ય લખ્યું છે. But what about the ones who do know? The ones who never took a damn thing for granted, who tried their hardest to hold on, yet could only look on helplessly while they lost the thing they loved the most. Isn't it so much worse for them? એમનો તો કોઈ વાંક જ નહોતો ને. They never took it for granted. Moving on to the third one. સી ઓફ સ્ટ્રેન્જર કરીને છે. Keys to the Kingdom કરીને એને લખ્યું છે કે if boy asks you for your name, don't give it to him. He will say it back to you in a voice like gravel and honey. You will crave his hands all rough and swift, but you are not the kind of girl who builds her house from the sticks. You are a fortress, stubborn and strong. Do not give away the keys to the kingdom to anyone less than a king. You had me once કરીને એક પોએમ છે એને લખી છે. You had me once, wild and willing. You wanted a lover who took you to the edge. Wasn't it I who gave you that feeling, a love that danced upon a ledge? Then came another who offered you safety, and you chose to be with her instead. An impossible ideal. Men don't compare us with other women, they compare us to an ideal. Take back your power કરીને છે એને લખ્યું છે. Greet the world with no expectation. Love as though you have never been hurt or betrayed. Let go of the ones who take so much from you yet offer nothing in return. This is how you take back your power. When it's over કરીને એમાં એને લખ્યું છે. There is a point in every relationship when you realize it's over and seldom it is the day you break up. For some, that moment is long after you say goodbye. For other, the moment is long before. There are 3 stages of waking: remembering who you are, forgetting what you dreamt, and letting go of what you felt in that dream. Sometimes they happen like waves, one after another. At times they can occur in no particular order, other times they overlap all at once. That's what it was like to love you. It was like waking from a dream. અને આનું જે નામ હતું એનું નામ From a Dream હતું. I think that's it. બુક્સ છે એ બહુ સિમ્પલ રીતે લખેલી છે, બટ સમ ઓફ ધેમ આર સો ટચિંગ, લાઈક રોક પ્લેનેટ્સ કરીને જે હતી એ મને બહુ ગમી હતી, કે જેમાં તમે 10-15 મિનિટ વિચારી શકો. અમુક વસ્તુ તમને ઇન્સ્ટન્ટલી ટ્રિગર થાય, વોટ યુ ફેલ્ટ, એન્ડ સમટાઈમ્સ તમને કશું જ ફીલ ના થાય બિકોઝ યુ નો ઇટ્સ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ ઓબ્વિયસ. બટ યસ, મને બહુ મજા આવી. બહુ ફાસ્ટ મેં રીડ કરી હતી એ બધી પોએટ્રી અને પ્રોઝની બુક્સને, અને એને હજી ઘણી બધી બુક્સ છે જે હું વાંચવાનું છું. એક સેડકર્સ કરીને છે ફિક્શન બુક, એ બી હું વાંચવાનું વિચારી રહી છું. પણ શી ઇઝ અ ગુડ રાઇટર અને મને મજા આવી આ વાંચીને.